Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Voices Behind the Movement. Today we have a special guest, David Williams. I am your host, Nisa Shepherd, CEO and founder of Miracle Moments LLC, where we do branding, visibility with business cards, social media content, and also AI receptionist as well as custom theme songs for your brand and your business. So today we are going to get talking to David, who is an author, a podcaster, and the owner of Jet Club Renaissance. Welcome, David. So glad to have you. We're going to
Thank
get you
you for
to
having
introduce
me.
yourself and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me up here. So she read that right. I am a what I call a Renaissance man, which means that um, I have a foundation, which is my authorship, right? So I'm a serial author, and then a lot of the other things that I have going on are centered around that. So it's authorship first, podcaster second. I've also made fragrances at some point. And my most recent venture is private jet brokerage. And a lot of the things that I'm doing or have going on or decided to make ventures around were things that I was already doing. So I was already an avid reader before I became an author myself. I had already listened to like podcasts and that kind of stuff before I made my own. And then I love to travel. So finding out about aviation brokerage is my newest venture. So a lot of the things that I'm doing are things that I was already doing. I just decided see if I can make it into a venture.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hold on one second.
Mhm.
So the conference is coming March 6th and 7th. Are you
Yes.
excited? What are you looking for the most as we prepare for the conference?
Um, First of all, I've met a lot of amazing people in the wind space. So I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to like putting names to faces and like meeting people in person. Online is great, but I like vibes. I like being around specific people. So being able to make that into a moment that you can't get back and being able to be like, you know what, this is one step closer to me getting on other stages is also something else that I'm looking forward to. So I would say those are my two things. Actually getting on stage and then also meeting some of y'all like in person. So those are the two things that I'm looking forward to most.
Okay, and what are you going to be talking about?
So I'm going to be talking about, and I've gone back and forth with myself about 5 times, but I'm
Oh,
gonna be talking
really?
about, yeah. But I centered on being a person of many crowns.
Mhm.
Uh, because I myself am an only child, um, by family and that kind of stuff. I'm an only child. And so before I found community, before I found people that could kind of help me pick up the slack, I was doing everything because I felt like there wasn't anybody really in my corner, in my space that would help with the load, whatever God had called me to do. So
Mhm.
that kind of leaned into why originally I went with the whole Renaissance thing because originally I was a solo person until I found help, until I found other people that could get my stuff out to more people. But that was me, all of it. Like I was the author. I couldn't find anybody to help me get the word out about my stuff. So I got into podcasting. I couldn't find somebody to help me do certain things. So I felt like I had to do it. So being a person of many crowns and how to manage it all, because that's one of the questions that I do get is originally like, how do you manage being an author, a podcaster, a jet broker now, plus other stuff? Like, how do you manage all of that? And so that will be my talking point is finding ways to compartmentalize and separate without going crazy with it all. Because that's one of the questions that I do get, especially when you're managing more than one thing, is how do you maintain it? It's one thing to start it, but how do you maintain it? And that's something
Mhm.
that I've been able to do over the past um, couple of years that I've been doing it, that I've been doing all of this stuff. So being a person of many crowns is what I'll be discussing.
Okay. And how, like, what does that look like for you?
Wait, can you say that again? It froze a little bit.
Okay. Being a person of many crowns,
Hmm.
what does that look like for you? How does that how does that make you feel on the days that are stressful?
So I think that that's where like reviews come into play, like being able to go back and look at the impact that whatever product you come up with has had on people, being able to
Mhm.
go back and see like, okay, well, I may not want to do it today, but you know what? I went back and I read that somebody was able to relate to a book that I came up with, or somebody went back and they listened to a podcast episode that I did about this particular thing, or maybe they find something else that they relate to and they leave like, hey, you know what? I've been dealing with doubts, but because of something that David said, I feel like I'm not by myself. So even though I have days, I still do. Like even though I've been at some of it longer than others. Like with the book stuff, I've been at it for 8 years, give or take.
Mm.
Podcasting, I've been at it for 5, but I still get the days of not wanting to do it. So when I do have those days, I check reviews. I go back and I look at an Instagram post that somebody might have said something on that I posted. So I check reviews outside of, music. Music is always a great help. But if it's not music, I'm usually checking the reviews and it reminds me like, all right, even though you don't want to do it right now, take a rest, but don't quit, but take a break and get back to it tomorrow or get back to it in a couple of hours. So that's just a couple of ways that I deal with being a person of many crowns. And then looking at it, because my mom even asked me the other day, um, looking at it like it's a castle, right? Like success is a castle, and my books are the foundation. Because once you write a book, you can't take it back unless you delete it. So my books are the foundation, and then on top of that, there's podcasting, and then on top of that, there's other stuff. So looking at it like it's a castle is something else that has also helped me manage all of the different things that I have going on.
Okay, that's awesome. I love it. So, how many books do you actually have?
Ooh, sheesh. Um, 15.
15?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was on this thing of, and I talked about this on on one of my podcast episodes actually.
Mhm.
Um, I was really on this thing of not waiting on permission, and I perceived, um, waiting on somebody to give you the green light for things as waiting on permission.
Mm.
One of the things that I came to early on was that yes, you can have feedback. Yes, you can have, people that really help you with your stuff. But at the end of the day, you still have to make the decision. You still have to make the decision to move forward. And I made a conscious decision early on that unless it is somebody that's really invested,
Mhm.
I can't always afford to wait on permission because then I feel like I'm being idle. I feel like I'm not doing anything. And I didn't want to be idle. I didn't want to live a life being idle. So most times when God gives me the green light, the quote unquote green light to move forward, I do. I don't always make announcements about it, but I do move forward. And with books in particular, because I know it's a long term game most of the time, that's what I kept in mind. And that's kind of what has kept me in this thing of continuously like coming up with stuff. Um, so I was big on not waiting on permission. And that's how I got to 15 because I feel like the more I do it, the better I get. So my first book was, it was all right, but I've gotten better the more that I did it. And I didn't want to feel like I was waiting on permission from somebody to tell me to move forward. I kind of let my intuition guide the way to a certain degree. And so, yeah, I'm at 15, but I didn't want to feel like I was waiting on permission from people that may or may not be there tomorrow.
And you know, that's a good thing. When you mentioned about not waiting for permission, I heard this in a sermon, probably like last week or the week before. It's like we do often wait for permission for somebody to say, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea," as opposed to just going ahead and doing a thing because we already know we're going to do it. But it's
Yeah.
like we're waiting for validation.
Yeah, I did. You know, it's funny. I did do that originally,
Mhm,
right? Like I would go around and I would say, "Hey, do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? Do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that?" And I got 5 different answers. Some people said, "Yeah,
mhm,
you should go forth. Yeah, go forth and prosper." Some people said, "No, I think you should wait." Some people said, "I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in that field. I don't know." And I was just like, "Well, I was kind of coming to you for confirmation, and you're not giving me the confirmation.
mhm,
So maybe instead of taking it to you, I need to go to God about it or go to the universe
mhm,
about it." And once I went to the universe or God or whatever you call it, there's different titles and all that kind of stuff. But once I went to God about it, and He said, "Okay, this is the idea that I've set upon you, and the right
mhm.
people will resonate with the idea eventually, and just go forth and don't worry about the why, don't worry about the how." I was like, "Okay, could do that." So that's kind of just what I've been doing. I've been going to God about most of my ideas, if not all of them.
That's good. And as you were talking, like when you're
Mhm.
talking about, going to God with your ideas, I believe we as people, we we forget to do that in the beginning and we just seek validation other places as opposed to going to the source, which is God.
Yeah,
And we get all these answers from other people, and it just really makes us more confused than we already are in the beginning, right?
yeah,
If we're gonna be honest, because I know for myself, I've done that and I'm like, well, I go to you for validation, but and ultimately I should have went to God in the beginning for the validation because he's the only one that really I need validation from, right?
right. And plus, I mean, people, like I said, people can help. I'm not saying don't
Yeah,
go for help,
they can help.
but most people have their own visions going on.
Mhm.
Most people have their own dreams going on, and
Correct.
it's not personal. Like I don't take it
Mhm.
personal, but if you're always dependent, I heard this quote once that said, "If you live for the cheers, you'll die by the booze." So if you're always
Yeah,
waiting,
I heard something similar to that. Yeah.
so if you're always waiting for somebody to like cheer you on, if you're always waiting for cheers or lack thereof, then
Mhm.
you won't really do anything. You'll kind of be like, "Well, I know I got this thing that I want to do, but I'm waiting for the right people. I'm waiting for the right chance. I'm waiting for the right opportunity, but there's no right time. Like
No.
there's no right time." So that's kind of what has really let me like lean into, "Okay, God, this is what you want me to do. I don't understand it. I need clarification now. But 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 this is what you want me to do. Okay, fine. This is where I'm going. This is what you want me to do. I'm sure that the people that are meant to come along will come along. So I trust you. I may not understand it now. I'm gonna have questions along the
Yeah.
way, but this is where you want me to go. So this okay. Okay, cool, fine. This is where I'm going."
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's pretty much all he wants us to do anyways, is trust him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I've enjoyed this conversation. So as we get ready to wrap up, tell the people how they can connect with you and experience David Williams, Jet Renaissance owner, before the conference and after the conference. So I'm going to put your links and stuff up here so they can look and you can go ahead and go over them.
Yeah, thank you. So I can be found on my podcast. I'm rebranding. So my podcast now is Thoughts of a Renaissance Man on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, and then I think it's in like 5 other places, but I forget the other places. I can also be found on Instagram. My one of my Instagrams is Jet Renaissance Club. If you want to find out about my private aviation stuff and travel and dream destinations and that kind of stuff, that is strictly for the Jet Renaissance Club. That's strictly for travel, that's strictly for that kind of stuff. And then my main page can be found as Blessed Spadesman _. And that's my main page. That's where I share like my books. That's where I share if I happen to go out to an event. That's my main page. And then my third page, this is an idea that I've kind of kept hidden, but I'll share it with you guys.
Okay.
I eventually do want to build a museum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Chapters and Altitudes Museum. And so if you want to find out what the vision for that museum is going to look like, that's also my Instagram, and it's all one word. So just Chapters and Altitudes. And then where else can I be found? I can also be found on Facebook. David, DavidKayles Williams, like Venus and Serena, on Facebook. And then I think those are my main platforms. Oh, and I'm also on Clubhouse as Beloved on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
What am I looking forward to after the event? I'm actually looking forward to getting more, getting more into speaking engagements.
Mhm.
I have spoken at like pop-up shops and when I'm out and about. And I love speaking. So I'm looking forward to getting more involved in like speaking engagements. And seeing who else I'll connect with at the event.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. So, you guys, come out to Women Empowering Generations Conference March 6th and 7th of this year. So, you have time to get your tickets. We have a few left. So, you don't want to miss David Williams at the conference. David, you want to give them your promo code?
Yeah. So, my promo code for the conference is David KW at checkout.
Okay. All right. So this is your promo code for the conference, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all come out, experience David as one of the speakers. You don't want to miss it. Some valuable information that can help your life, change your life. You never know. Take you some trips on a jet, private jet. Hey,
Absolutely.
you got David right here, okay? So come on out.
I'm open to clients, y'all. Come on. I'm open to clients.
You heard him. So come on out, experience David. So, David, as we get ready to wrap up, do you have any final takeaways for the people? Any words of encouragement that you can share?
Yeah. So the power of community cannot be stressed enough, especially when you are a quote unquote a lone wolf or lone lion or lone tiger, whatever animal. You can definitely get more done in community than by yourself. Yes, you may have to travel on your own originally to get to the community, but once you're around like the right people, it kind of just lets you just fly or soar or whatever it is. So be intentional about the community you find and be open to the fact that it's not just you, right? Like you may have to get there on your own, but once you're around the right community and they embrace you with open arms. So be open to the power of community. And I'll leave it at that.
That is powerful. Yes, be open to community because you never know how it can change your life. I'm glad I did because WIN is amazing.
Agreed.
So,
exactly.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much let me check the chat, see if we have anybody in here. If not, we are going to get ready to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. If you're on the live stream, if you're watching the replay, get your tickets for Women Empowering Generations Conference, March 6th and 7th. And we're still accepting sponsorships. So come check us out. The link is in the chat. You don't want to miss it, being a part of an amazing event. So until next time, guys, remember, you're loved, you're amazing. You can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. And every moment in life is your miracle moment. Have a great day.
Take care, everyone.